call that pretty successful, folks. Hey everybody, Drew B's Apiary here. Today I'm just doing a follow-up from my other video regarding the Formic treatment. It has now been about a week since I put Formic on the red hive, and as you've seen from the vids, I mean, there's been a heavy mite drop, which is good. It was as bad as I thought it was in there, but again, hopefully, you know, remains to be seen. We'll see if this hive can recover in time going into the winter. So better late than never, honestly, at this point. But I'm just gonna real quick do one more sugar roll on these three one more time. I know those all three had a very low count. I'm not gonna show from beginning to end the whole process because the other video already showed that. I won't waste y'all's time doing that, but I'm gonna do one more quick sugar roll on all three, check them one more time for mite count. If it's determined that I do have a higher count than I thought with a second time through, I'm gonna do the longer Formic treatment with any one of these hives. So instead of the 2 strips for 14 days, I'm gonna do 1 strip for 10, remove it, do another strip. So that way it's a little gentler than doing the nuclear bomb option that I did with this one, but this one really needed it because their time was of the essence. So I'm gonna start with the yellow hive, work my way down, and then let you know what results I find out. Already started working on the yellow hive. Check out that really nice brood pattern. To be honest, all the frames are like that in there. In the bottom brood box. Looking pretty nice. Just figured I'd wanted to share. All right, let's go check on this sugar shake for the yellow. All right, everyone, I did the sugar shake second time now on yellow hive. I did it twice though today because I wanted to try 2 different brood frames. First frame dropped 2, second frame dropped 2. So technically it's under that, 3 mite load. But, I am just gonna treat this as a test. Like I said, I'm still gonna do the 1 strip in the brood chamber of the Formic Pro. Like I said, I'm not going to give him as heavy of a dose as the far right one, but the way I see it, if that even knocks him back a little bit more going into the winter, because again, I'll probably do my oxalic acid treatment in, either right after Thanksgiving or sometime in December, depending on what the temperature outside is looking like and what the brood situation is inside the hive. So, the way I see it, there's still about, a month and a half left of fall, and I'm thinking, if I can just knock back whatever existing varroa, because I mean there's so much cap brood in there. The way I see it, as we know, most of the varroa is going to be underneath the caps. So maybe in a month's time I'm going to have a really heavy mite load, and again the goal is to knock these back as much as possible. So I'm going to do 1 strip real quick and put that on, and then we'll close this one back up and I'll continue to feed it. Grabbing those strips from before. I'll throw 1 on. Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer for y'all. Like I said, this will just be the 1 strip treatment. Put my gloves on real quick. And again, in a way, this could be kind of seen as a little overkill, but the way, you know, if I'm trying to get these bees ready to go into winter, a small dose of this Formic, I think it's going to be okay for them. See, I'm not a fan. All right. See how quickly they get away from it? You know what that is. Avoid it like the plague, but it's the best thing for them. I'm gonna knock this entrance reducer up. That way they have some better ventilation. I'll be very curious to see what the mite drop is on this in comparison. It'll be a good way for me to really see the difference between a mite drop of the astronomical number that was in that other hive versus this one that has not had nearly that much. See, I'm doing that. I'm just kind of opening it up a little bit. Probably open it a little bit more than that. I'll probably put like a stone or something just to keep it from dropping back in place, which it could do. They are not happy right now. They're like, what are you doing to us? Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I know you don't like it, but it's gonna help y'all. All right, and then we'll get this thing all sealed up. I haven't seen my queen today, but I guess I'll find out in a week if my bottom brood chamber is empty, if she's in my top. So I have 2 brood boxes, and this one that I'm about to put on is very heavy, full of honey. I didn't see any brood, so I think she's in the bottom. But I've been wrong before, so. Realize that camera is not angled where it needs to be. You're probably wondering what the heck I'm doing. This super doesn't really have all that much on it. Super, very light. Around. Could have put the box on differently. Alright, that's going to really set them up for success. Everybody going into the winter. Because again, what I'm worried about is all those mites that are underneath those caps all those baby bees, which that's where most of the varroa is, are gonna be coming out sooner rather than later. And I don't want an explosion of that going into the winter. All right, I'll seal this up. Go to the next hive. See what their mite count's looking like. All right, everybody, while I was doing my inspection on the blue hive, queen and everything, this queen hasn't been marked. To be honest, I don't remember the last time I saw her up close. Kind of see her walking around in there right now. You know, I marked all my queens. I'm not going to say it isn't possible that she got the marking off or got her, you know, fellow workers to take it off for her. But I'm going to try to mark her real quick with our white Posca pen. Because obviously this is the year that we do it. So I said I would try to show you all how to mark a queen. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to quick put her in here. And then I'm going to catch her in this little white capsule, put the lid on her, and then go from there. So she's right there. All right. She is in the container right now. All right. So I want her to climb up that. Got her. You see that? So she's in there. She's walking around. Right? Okay, so the goal is to get her back right up along here. So right now I'm just gonna give her a little bit less space, and you gotta be very careful when you do this. So like right now I'll let her walk around a little bit. I'm gonna get my pen ready, shake it really good. Okay, and actually, to be honest with you, I'm gonna set this down for 1 second before I start to mark her. This is easier to do if you have as much hand dexterity as possible, so I definitely recommend taking your gloves off because you want to feel every little bit as you do this. So again, I'm just going to get her back up to the top ever so gently, ever so gently. Sometimes you got to move it a little bit. There you go, like that. So got her back just a little bit. See that? Trying to get one more. I can get it right where I need it to. There we go. And that should be good. You just kind of want to watch her walk around a little bit, see what she does. You'll see her, yeah, see she's gonna self-groom a little bit. She's gonna use her arms, her legs I should say, and try to wipe the paint off her back. So the goal is we're gonna leave her in here for a little bit. We want that paint to dry that's on her back. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but the key thing is obviously when you're doing this, you're obviously not trying to squish her, and you want to give it a little bit of time to dry. So I'm gonna leave her in there for at least 2 or so minutes. The hive is definitely gonna realize that she's not in there. And if any of the workers find her right there, you're gonna see them start to cluster on it. If I see that before I put her back in, I'll turn the video on so you can see it. But right now, they're just doing their thing. It'll take them a little bit to realize that the queen pheromone is not in the hive and that she's somewhere else, and then they would start to panic. But hopefully I can get her back in there quick enough for them to, before they realize anything's awry. So, and then we'll continue on with me finding a good brood for him. All right, just figured I'd show you that nice and quick. Easy way for you to mark queens is with one of those little plungers. I do not grab my queens by hand, but I'm just not confident enough to do it. Experienced beekeepers are. So that's one way you can do it if you're a little less experienced, like myself. There she is in there. I'm gonna put her back in. I think there's been enough time that it's dried. So I'm just gonna hold the cup like that. Let you see her go in. Right there. She seems to be brave enough to go down. All right, so doing the second test of the sugar shake out here pretty much showed the same results as before. So, you know, when we were out here a couple weeks ago and we did the initial one, saw that insanely high, you know, somewhere between 25 and 30 mites per 300 bees, which is why I needed to start treating fast with them. You know, today coming out here doing 2 sugar shakes, like as in 2 different frames on the yellow hive, showing a mite count of 2 out of 300 on those. And then this blue hive, I only did 1 frame, but it showed 1 out of the 300. So again, super low. I am going to be doing, and I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, I'm still going to do Formic on these 2 because of what I was saying about the cap brood. There's still always a chance that there's a lot of mites hidden under that brood. So I'm only going to do the light dose. You know, I'm going to I put 1 of these Formic Pro strips on that one, another one on this one. I'll check again here in 10 days to put the second dose, but I just want to do a gentler, you know, thing than I did with that red one, which was the full dose treatment, 2 strips. So, you know, I still want these hives to be good to go. I'm not going to put any Formic on this one. I'm not even going to sugar shake this one. I feel like doing the second round of tests today just further reinforced what the data had showed the time prior. So, you know, I thought maybe it was a fluke, and that's why I wanted to come back out here, try one more time. Still not out here trying to advocate saying sugar shake is better than other ways, like the mite check or the alcohol washes, but I will just say that it showed very similar results between the 2. And again, this was a couple weeks ago when I last did this. So that's pretty much it for today. Like I said, I'm just gonna go in here real quick and just see what the population's looking like. I haven't done that in a bit, but all I can say is Formic seems to work. My test results seem to show similar data, so I'm happy seeing that. Other thing before I do go, just an update on the feeding situation. So while I haven't checked that one's stores, that one's going through treatment, I will say with this one, that upper brood chamber is full of honey. Super is roughly empty. There's really not that much in there. That's probably going to get pulled off here in the next, like around Halloween or just thereafter, if they don't fill it up. As far as the blue hive, completely packed. I'm talking brood and super up top, loaded with sugar nectar. You know, I've been feeding them heavy, like I mentioned, and I think they've actually slowed down on drinking because they're finally starting to pack it in there and not raise as much brood. This hive did not have as much brood. You saw me mark the queen. She's definitely slowed down. Yellow queen is still laying like, well, I wouldn't say laying like crazy, but there's plenty of brood in there. She may actually have slowed down. I didn't see a lot of fresh eggs. Didn't see her, but I'm sure she's in there. So they might finally be getting the idea of starting to wind down. So once I go in here and find out how Green Hive is doing, that'll give me a good idea of what the next few weeks are looking like. But just want to share that. Hope you all have a great weekend. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you so much.